The Lillian McDermott Show.
We love, we fear, bridges we burn, we make mistakes, then we live and learn. When life gets tough, and it seems like your best ain't good enough. If you're in need of hope, you know where I'll be right here, right here. And when you need a friend, you can count on me. I'll be right here, waiting for you.
This is the place you can always turn to when you need a friend. The Lillian McDermott Show. To reach out to Lillian, visit her on the web at whenyouneedafriend.com. Now let's all learn together. Here's Lillian McDermott.
Hello, my listening friend. It's so nice we can meet each other on the air on this beautiful best day ever. And for those of you who tuned into the Lillian McDermott radio show Classroom for the first time, please know I've been waiting for you. This is a safe place where you can go to when you need a friend. It is my commitment to provide alternative ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my listening, as well as my viewing friend, will feel empowered to embrace a new truth and live the life of your dreams. Well, as you know, we're excited every time Dr. Bradley Nelson comes into the classroom, but not as excited that the Emotion Code Workshop, January 29th, 2022, the live one in Cocoa Beach, is right around the corner. And I'm so excited because every time he comes on, he shares a little bit more about our emotions that we may or may not know, or maybe we try to ignore. So today we're going to be talking about lost loves. And how do you kind of find love after loss? And how does this affect our heart wall? And why should we be curious about healing this heart wall? And since it is our sole purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge, I am grateful that Dr. Bradley Nelson is here to do just that. Welcome, Dr. Brad, to the classroom.
Thank you, Lillian. I have to say, I was sitting here listening to you, and I was just thinking, Lillian is really one of the most amazing people I know.
Aww.
I mean, you're on such a great mission, and I'm grateful to be connected to you and to to connect to your audience as well. And I'm really excited, really looking forward to this event. My wife and I are going to be coming out. We're bringing a couple of our staff members, and it's just. Can't wait. It's going to be so much fun.
You know, from the moment we met, you declared, we're going to do something in Florida. Let's do something in Florida.
Yeah.
And here we are. We're going to do something major in Florida, Cocoa Beach, exactly. And if you click on the link, you can learn more about the Emotion Code Workshop that is going to be live. And there's an opportunity for a meet and greet with Dr. Brad, and I'm sure your wife will be there and your staff. How does this emotion code, how is it received? Because behind you, there's a wall of translations of this emotion code. This is the United States version. And behind you, you said that those are all different languages that has been rewritten. How has it been received around the world?
Well, really, really well. It just keeps it's really just exploding around the world. It's like this slow explosion that's happening. This is Swedish right here. That's Mandarin. This is Italian. That one's German. That's the brand new version in German right there. And then I think that one's Spanish. So it's out in a lot of languages. It's out in a lot more, it's coming in more and more languages all the time. And so the beauty of this is that there's never really existed anything quite like this, because there's never really been anything that's this simple or that's this effective or that's this powerful that can be learned by anybody, even children. So that's the beauty of this. And it's coming just in time at a point in the existence of mankind where we really, really need something that works. We don't have time to mess around anymore. We don't have time to just, chant and hope that things happen. We have to have something that really is concrete and that really works. And that's exactly what this is. So this is going to be an absolutely life-changing event for the people that come to this. It's going to be one of those, pivotal moments in their life where they're going to be learning this methodology that for the vast majority of those attendees, it's going to be something that's going to change their life and will also very likely go on through them to change the lives of many, many other people that they know, their loved ones, family members and friends and so on.
Yeah. We often think of love as an emotion, right? And so many of us have loved and lost. And so what happens to our body? First it starts as an emotion, but then it can convert into disease. It could cause death. It could cause sabotage, So how does this transition happen from emotion to physical pain?
Well, that's a great question. How do emotions cause physical pain? One of the very first cases that I saw was a woman that came in with chest pain, crushing chest pain, difficulty breathing. Her left arm was totally numb. The left side of her face was numb. Now, if you've had any kind of medical training, that looks like a heart attack.
Yeah.
And it looked like a heart attack to me. And I told my staff, we might need an ambulance, hang on. And I did some testing on her really quickly and found that there was some emotional baggage. There was a trapped emotion that was behind all of this pain and everything else. And so using the emotion code, within about 60 seconds, I had identified this trapped emotion as grief, and it had occurred about 3 years before that. And when I arrived at that, she just burst into tears and broke down crying and said, I can't believe that's affecting me. I thought I dealt with all of that. And I said, what happened? And she said that 3 years before, her husband had been having an affair, and she found out about it and confronted him about it. And the marriage blew up. And she ended up spending about a year in therapy dealing with it, and then had even gotten remarried. So as far as she was concerned, that was just her ex.
Correct.
But you see, that emotion was so powerful, that grief was so powerful that it got stuck in her body. And that's what happens to us, you see. So you think about the events in your life that you've been through.
Yeah.
When you used to cry yourself to sleep at night, or listening to your parents argue, or maybe they went through a divorce, or maybe you were bullied as a child, or maybe you lost your hamster, or maybe you lost the person that you really loved. And what happens to us is when we go through these intense emotional events, because the body itself is just an energy field, and because emotions are also just energy, those energies can become trapped in the body. And then what happens is they distort the normal energy field of the body. So what happens is a trapped emotion is a ball of energy. And wherever that ball of energy lodges in the body, and it's a strange concept. I mean, to think that you can have a ball of anger, or a ball of fear or grief or sadness. That woman that I was working on, when we released that trapped emotion of grief from her husband's affair, the feeling came back into her arm and into her face, just literally within seconds. And the chest pain was just suddenly lifted. All that crushing chest pain, the difficulty breathing, suddenly gone. And she left the office 10 minutes later after joking with me and my staff, and didn't need to go to the hospital, and is still someone that I'm in touch with. She has a horse farm in Oregon, and she's still alive. That was 30 years ago plus.
Wow.
She would have died, I'm sure, very, very likely would have died of a broken heart, really, and nobody would have ever known. And even Western medicine now admits that, yes, people die of a broken heart, especially women over 55. When some intense emotional thing happens, their heart can just fail. And it's because, I believe, of that emotional baggage. You see, whatever's happened to them in their life, and that emotional energy has gotten stuck there. And it's an amazing thing. Well, so what we find is that these trapped emotions, these little balls of emotional energy, will distort the normal energy field of the body. Mm-hmm. And when you distort that energy field of the body, that's all the body really is. And so then one of the biggest side effects of that is physical pain. And what we find is that 90% of all the physical pain that people have is due to their emotional baggage. 90%. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable. It's hard to wrap your minds around, because, you know, the reality of it is we're so used to being conditioned that if you're in pain, you need Doan's pills, or you need, you know, some kind of medication. But if you can remove that emotional baggage that's causing that pain, the pain is just kind of like the check engine light in your car, right? And the underlying cause of that in your car might be, who knows? But in your body, when you have a check engine light that turns on, that check engine light is usually pain or some other kind of issue. And the underlying cause of that is usually emotional baggage. And so in this event, we're going to be teaching everybody how to do this on their animals, because they get emotional baggage too. How to do this on their friends and their loved ones, on their kids and their grandparents, and how to do it at a distance. I'm telling you, this is going to be, if you've never been to one of these before, it's going to be the most mind-blowing thing that you've ever been to. It will totally stretch your mind to a new place. And they say that a mind stretched to a new place will never regain its original shape. That's a good thing, right?
That is a good thing. So here we are, you know, our mind, our gut connection is so much a part of who we are. And many times people have experienced loss. And like you said, like that woman 30 years ago, she thought she had already dealt with it.
Right.
But in her subconscious mind, these thoughts may be circulating every day. She doesn't even know it, or they don't even know it. How do you help someone through this process, or can you help someone that obsesses about it? Maybe, you know, there's one side that says, oh, I've already dealt with it. And then there's this other side that doesn't know how to let it go. So what do you tell people that have this obsessive, like, this person left me, this person hurt me, they're constantly telling their story of grief and loss or whatever? What kind of advice do you give them, and how can this workshop help them?
Well, think of it this way. Think of all the intense emotional experiences that you have had in your life, from the breakups, maybe from the divorces or the divorce, or from your parents' issues, or from being bullied, or whatever you've gone through, maybe the bad job that you had, or just the emotional events of your life. Now imagine that every single one of those emotional events is like a rock, okay? It's like a rock. And you've put all of them into a couple of suitcases, maybe 2 or 3 suitcases, and you're dragging those around everywhere with you, okay? And there's a big thick rope that's connecting you to those suitcases. Well, what the emotion code is like is it's like a way to open up a suitcase and start throwing those rocks out, okay? And pretty soon you don't need that suitcase anymore, and that one's gone. So now your load gets a little lighter, and you can continue to find and remove those rocks from your life. Some of the rocks, by the way, that are in your life are not even rocks that got there because of what you've experienced.
And that was going to be my next question. Yes. It's going to be my next question, which I can understand me having my own emotions and all that, and controlling my thoughts and all of that. But now you're talking about ancestral trauma and their baggage.
Exactly.
That we're carrying.
Yeah. And think about this. I mean, we all have ancestors, right? And I mean, hopefully we've all got ancestors. And all those ancestors, you know, many of them went through difficult things at some point or another. I mean, if you're Jewish, maybe they went through the pogroms, maybe the Holocaust. You know, there have been some books written about the grandchildren of Holocaust survivors. And what they find is that those grandchildren have different DNA, and they're much more susceptible to stress and stress hormones and so on, and more susceptible to diseases and lowered immunity. And the only difference is that their grandparents went through the Holocaust. And so what happens is when an ancestor goes through or went through some horrific event, they went through some traumatic thing, they will develop a trapped emotion. And what we know now is that those can be passed down. So go back to our suitcase analogy. What most people are dragging behind them also, in addition to their own suitcases full of rocks, is maybe a steamer trunk or two. And that's got all the old stuff in it from the ancestors. So now imagine actually trying to live your life by dragging all of that luggage behind you everywhere you go. And then you start to realize why people complain about how difficult life can be, how hard it can be to find love and to get ahead and create the life that they want. And you can imagine that everybody is doing this. Everybody's hauling all this luggage with them. So the emotion code is an easy way to find that luggage, whether it occurred when you were a baby or in the womb or, at very young ages, or maybe just last year, or whether it was something that was passed to you at conception from mom or dad that maybe came, from 10 generations back. You can find those too. And I'm going to be teaching everybody in this seminar how to find stuff like that as well. But what's really fun about this, in addition to all of this, is you're going to learn how to do it with your animals. So if you've got a cat or you've got a dog or a horse or, maybe a hamster or something, you can we're going to teach you how to work on them because they also have emotional baggage. And we, believe it or not, we have practitioners in different parts of the world who just work with animals, and they get amazing results. In fact, we have a practitioner of ours in France who works long distance, just over Skype or whatever, with thoroughbred racehorses in different parts of the world, and has phenomenal success, and makes a very good living, I understand, from doing what she does. Wow. So we're going to teach you all of this and more in this seminar.
Well, I tell you what, I'd love to bring Brenda with us because I want people to experience it and see what it's like. Because one of the things that happens, Dr. Brad, is that people think, oh, I'm afraid this is going to be too emotional. All of that, it's going to be too emotional. But it's really like you speaking to your body, or without emotion. You're just trying to find it, but there isn't a lot of emotion there. Can you explain how that is while Brenda gets discovered here?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is it's not a talk it out sort of therapy. It's not a cognitive therapy, if you've heard of those. Instead, what we're doing in as rapid a way as we possibly can, we're finding and identifying the emotional baggage that a person has, a trapped emotion, one at a time, and we're releasing that. And so people typically just feel better when emotional baggage is removed. And a lot of the time, pain is alleviated or decreased. There's all kinds of things that happen. And anecdotally, we have over 10,000 testimonial stories that have been submitted to us over the years. Wow. And there's not a day that goes by that we don't get new ones from people in different parts of the world. And, we've certified 8,500 plus, probably almost 9,000 people now in 80 different countries around the world. Wow. In this method. And this is the same exact seminar that I've taught everywhere from Jerusalem to Sydney, from Toronto to, Las Vegas and all points in between. And for quite a number of years now. And
now you're in Cocoa Beach on January 29th, 2022. Yes. I'm so excited. Brenda, why don't you go ahead and unmute yourself? This is Dr. Bradley Nelson. And so she's going to be our demonstrator, or we're going to demonstrate what's going to happen at the workshop. And this is just a sample that we get to learn to do on ourselves. Go ahead, Dr. Brad.
Absolutely right. Well, hi, Brenda.
Hello.
Nice to see you. So Brenda, tell me, do you have any, do you have any particular kind of symptom going on? Anything that's bothering you or that's been bothering you?
I have sinus congestion right now.
Sinus congestion. Okay. Okay. How bad is it on a 0 to 10 scale, where we'll say that 0 is no congestion and 10 is you're completely unable to breathe through your nose?
I can breathe. I just feel pressure through here. So
pressure. Okay.
Yes.
So if we talk about the pressure, how would you rate, how bad is the pressure 0 to 10? What do you think?
Not very bad. I would say maybe 3.
Maybe about a 3. Okay. All right. No worries. Now, one of the things that we're going to teach you, of course, we're going to teach you how to use the emotion code on another person that's live and right there with you, okay? But we're also going to teach you how you can do this at a distance, really any distance. And so I'm going to give you a sample of how that works right now. So a lot of this has to do with quantum physics. And this work is really at the bleeding edge. It's the practical application of quantum physics. Now, quantum physics is a very deep hole, very deep well, lots of amazing things there, but we're not going to get into that. It's not really difficult, or I mean, it can be difficult, but we're not trying to make this difficult for anybody. It's actually very simple. The bottom line here is that the human body has this amazing ability built right into it to set aside its own needs to act on behalf of someone else. And so what we're going to do here is I'm going to work on you remotely, okay? And how we do this is, if you're familiar with quantum physics, there's a principle called entanglement. Energies can become entangled and connected at vast distances. And in fact, they really don't know if there is a limit to that distance factor. But how we do this, we believe that this work has really come from up above. And so I like to take just a moment and ask for some help from up above, from our Father in heaven, who loves us and cares about us. And, you know, we all believe different things about God or creator or whatever, and that's fine. It's not a religious thing, but that's just how I look at it. So give me just one moment here. Okay, here we go. All right. So what that does is it just makes that connection with that higher power. Okay. And because I need all the help that I can get. So let's ask now, first of all, and I'll be using this method of muscle testing. Okay. We're going to teach you this one in the seminar along with a couple of other ones. It's called the ring and ring method. So what'll happen here is when I'm asking questions, talking to Brenda's subconscious mind, the answer will manifest back on my body as either these rings staying together because my body's strong for yes, or the rings breaking apart, and that's my body being slightly weaker, and that's no. Okay, that's a no answer. So the first thing I want to know is, Brenda, are our energies really entangled, or are we connected energetically? And I get a yes answer. Okay, yes. So now let's ask, all right, let's see here. Let's ask, is there a trapped emotion that we can release that is contributing to this problem that you're having with your sinuses? And that's a yes answer. Now that is coming from her subconscious mind to mine instantaneously, no time delay. That's quantum physics, okay? And so let's see here. So we get a yes answer. So let's take a look and let's, here, I've got a chart of emotions right here, okay? You can see the chart.
Yep.
Now this chart has 60 emotions on it. It's divided up into, there we go. It's divided up into 2 columns and 6 rows. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to look at this chart and I'm going to ask, what emotion is this? Your subconscious mind has already told us there's a trapped emotion that's behind this. What emotion is it? Is it in column A? Yes. So if we're looking at the chart, it's not in column B, it's in column A. That means we got rid of column B. That's 30 emotions we just got rid of. It isn't any of those. It's got to be in column A. So now we'll divide column A in half and we'll ask if it's in one of the odd rows in column A. I get a yes. So we have 15 emotions left out of 60. Now, by the way, you're going to learn how to do this kind of testing, okay, yourself. You'll be able to use it the whole rest of your life for all kinds of things besides this. You can test your food and all kinds of things. So is this trapped emotion listed in column A in row 1? No. So is it in row 3 in column A? Yes, it's in row 3 in column A. So we've got 5 emotions there. And it's one of these. Is it crying? No. Is it discouragement? No. Is it rejection? No. Is it sadness? No. Is it sorrow? No. Okay, so you're going to learn this in the seminar, that when you're taken to a column in a row and you can't figure out the answer, that's the subconscious mind, because it's taking you as far as it can, because what it's trying to take you to is an inherited trapped emotion. That's what this is. So, so if you're taken to a column in a row, you can't figure out the answer, you ask, oh, wait a minute, is this? So is this inherited crying? Is it inherited discouragement? Is it inherited rejection? It's an inherited emotion of rejection. All right. So somewhere back there, you've got, figuratively speaking, you've got steamer trunk, and it's got some rejection in it. And that came at the moment of conception. You got this from either mom or dad. Where did it come from? Did you get it from mom? No, this came from your father. And did he get this from somebody earlier? Yes, he did. From his father. Yep. Okay. And does this go back even further? It does. How many generations from you? And your subconscious mind knows this. See, I don't have any idea what this is, but I'm connected to you, so I can ask and get answers. Does this go back 10 generations? It does. Does it go back 15 generations? No. 14? No. 13? No. 12? No. 11? It goes back 11 generations. Okay. 11 generations. So if we say 11 generations, let's see here. We say 11 generations times about 26 years or so for a generation, comes out to about 286 years, minus 2021, comes out to about 1735 AD. So you had an ancestor that apparently had a bad day or something bad happened, felt very, very rejected. That energy was passed to you, and it's part of that family line of yours now, but we're about to release it. Okay. So Brenda, let me ask you, do you have any children?
I do. I have 3.
Okay. 3 kids, and they're your biological kids that you had.
Yes.
Okay. So let's ask if any of them received this emotional energy from you when they were conceived. Yes. Did all of them get it? Yes. Do any of them have kids?
No.
Okay. So those 3 kids all receive this energy of rejection. Now, what this will do, see, in your body, you've got this rejection energy. And what it will do is it will be continuously sending out into the ether its own little frequency, its own little energy. And it will make it more likely that things will be drawn into your life that could create that emotion, rejection. And so you might be more likely, because of this, to go through rejection in your own life. Does that make sense?
Sort of, yes.
Sort of, yeah. That's kind of how it works. So let's ask, is there anything else we need to know about this? Not really. So let's go ahead and release this. And I've got a magnet here. We'll just use a magnet. You can use any kind of magnet. And I'm going to go over the top of my head like this 10 times or so to release that emotional energy. Did we release that energy from you? Yes. Did it also release from your father? Yes. And from his father? Yes. Even though these people are passed on, it doesn't seem to matter. And did it release from everybody in your line? Yes. Did it also release from your 3 kids? It did. Okay. So that's what an inherited emotion looks like. Now, what I want you to do, because you've been having this physical symptom, I'd like you to stand up and just walk around for a second and then come back. Just get up and take about 10 steps, and you can come back and sit down. And anytime anybody's having a physical symptom and we clear something like this, I like to have them get up and move around just a little, because things are settling into new places and so on. So now, Brenda, what I want you to do is I want you to just kind of tune in, just take a breath in, and just notice how that pressure in there feels now compared to how it was feeling before. It was about a 3 before. And how would you rate it now?
I don't really feel the pressure.
Okay, good. So that's a 0, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Can I
awesome.
ask you a question here? Can I ask a
Yeah.
question? So any
Sure.
physical symptoms, even though this is a current symptom for her, is triggered by someone else's trauma? I mean, is that what I'm understanding you say?
Well, right. See, the thing about it is this body, these bodies that we're living in are really ultimately just a very complex energy field, right? I mean, if they shine a bright enough light at you, they can make a shadow of your bones will appear on film, and they call that X-ray, right? That's all X-ray is. It's just it's just part of that it's just a brighter kind of light that we can't see with our eyes, right? More intense kind of light. And so our bodies are just energy. So when you have emotional baggage in the body, wherever it may be in the body, that area is going to be imbalanced. Okay. And in a case like this, wherever this emotional energy was, and it wasn't necessarily stuck right here, it could have been somewhere else in the body, but just affecting you here. Mm-hmm. Wherever that energy is, the body itself in that area is going to be a little bit compromised. The chemical reactions taking place in those tissues are going to be a little bit off. blood flow, lymph flow, other things are going to be a little bit off in that region of the body. So when we remove that trapped emotion and that ball of energy is gone, then suddenly those tissues can breathe again and things feel better and things function better. And so, I'm telling you, I've been doing this now for 30 some plus years. And, it's crazy. 90% of all the physical pain, I think I said this, that people have is due to emotional baggage. So that was pretty easy. As far as your congestion level, if you breathe in through your nose, how does that feel? You had that pressure going on.
I had the pressure, but I was breathing okay.
Oh,
it was
okay.
just heavy pressure here.
Okay.
I lost my voice.
Okay.
And,
All
and,
right.
so with that in mind, with her, this rejection, could that also be affecting her heart wall?
Well, this one didn't seem to be part of the heart wall.
Oh, okay.
But what we could do is we could ask if you have a heart wall, okay? And let's ask, do you have a heart wall? And I'm getting a no. Do you have a heart wall? I don't think you do. Have you had this work done before? Not everybody has a heart wall. About 93% of people do, but then there's that 7% that doesn't. So.
Well, I work with a lot of people that are very similar, not like you, of course, you're very different, but I'm very
weird.
I'm very blessed to be around a weird group of people. So I do have a lot of emotional work done. But I thought I had some, I'm getting I did think I had a wall there, because I feel like there is something blocking myself from reach out.
Let's ask about that. So you're kind of feeling that. Let's ask if you have a heart wall. I'm not getting that you do, but is it possible to have emotional energies that are in that region of the body that could still kind of be interfering with things? Yes, that is possible. Let's ask about that. Let's ask, do you have a trapped emotion that is in that area of the body that's maybe kind of creating that feeling that you've described? Yes. Okay, so here's our chart, real simple. What emotion is it? Is it in column A? No, so it's in column B. Is it in one of the odd rows in column B? Yes. So we've narrowed it down to 15 emotions, just that quick. Is it in row 1 in column A? No. So we have 10 emotions left. Is it in row 3 in column A? It's in row 3 column A. Or sorry, row 3 column B. Is that correct? Row 3 column B? Yep. Okay. So I was thinking one thing, but saying another, and whatever it is you're thinking, that's what the subconscious mind, prioritizes. So you can say whatever you want, but it's what you're thinking that really matters. So is the emotion confusion or defensiveness or grief? Is it self-abuse or stubbornness? It's not any of those. So once again, we're being taken to an inherited trapped emotion. See, when you get to a column in a row, you can't figure it out. It's inherited. Is this an inherited emotion? Definitely, I get a yes. So is it inherited confusion? No. Is it inherited defensiveness? No. Is it inherited grief? Definitely inherited grief, no question about it. So it's inherited trapped emotion today for you. Inherited grief. And did you get this from your mom when you were conceived? No. So it came from your father. Did he get it from somebody earlier? From his father? No, he got it from his mother. So your father got this from his mother. Okay. And in other words, when your father was conceived, your grandmother passed it to him. And when you were conceived, your father passed it to you. These inherited trapped emotions are received at conception. So does this go back even further? It may or it may not. Does it? It does. Does it go back 10 generations? Yes. Does it go back 15 generations? Yes. How about 20 generations? Yes. 25 generations? No. 21 generations? No. So 20 generations. So that is a long way. So if we say 20 generations, whoops, hold on, here we go. 20 generations times about 26 years for a generation is about 520 years.
Wow.
Okay. So that takes us back, of course, to about 1500 AD. And that means you had ancestors back then, apparently. and one of them had a bad day. Right? And I believe that when we get to the other side, we're going to find out all about these ancestors of ours and what they went through. So I think it's really interesting. This emotion of grief, did you pass this to any of your kids? Yes. Did they all get this? They all did. Okay. All right. And is there anything else we need to know about this? Not really. So just for fun though, let's ask, did this originate with a male? No, this started with a grandmother of yours, this emotion of grief. And so, scientists are finding out that animals, they don't know how they're doing it yet. It's very mysterious, but they're doing these studies and they're finding out that animals will somehow pass down traumatic memories to their posterity. And even lower animals, very simple, primitive animals, will pass things like this down up to 14 generations so far. And so do we do this? Absolutely. And this is exactly how it's done. So think about this. Let's say that 1500 AD, this grandmother of yours, the emotion was grief. Maybe her husband died. Maybe he was killed in a war, or maybe they lost a child due to some disease. I mean, imagine life, in the 1500s or the late 1400s. It must have been very, very difficult at best. So let's go ahead and release this now, and we'll do 10 swipes. And what we're doing is we're putting energy, magnetic energy, into the governing meridian, which travels up and over like so. So when we put energy into that meridian, it's kind of like taking a credit card out of your wallet and rubbing a magnet on that magnetic strip and just erasing the data. It's kind of like that. And it's that fast and it's that easy. So let's ask, did we release that inherited trapped emotion from you? Yes. Did it also release from your father? Yes. And from his mother? Yep. And did it release from all those other ancestors all the way back, all those 20 generations? It did. Now, those ancestors of ours, what we believe is that, when you die, that spirit that is who you really are lives on. And apparently you carry emotional baggage with you. So I think that when you die, you really are the same person. When you die, you go to the other side, you're in a different place, but you're still you. And the emotional experiences and the baggage that you have apparently can kind of go with you. I used to think that when people died, they just went through this big washing machine in the sky and they were all perfect, but no, apparently not. So anyway, did this release also from your 3 kids? Yeah. Okay, good. Now, if you take a deep breath and you just kind of tune into how you're feeling and, are you noticing anything? Sometimes people notice, sometimes people feel lighter. They might feel a shift or whatever. And sometimes they don't, but at least not right away. But what are you noticing there? Anything going on?
Well, this is definitely feeling better in here.
Okay, good.
So,
okay, good.
And I don't know if I feel any different anywhere else, but this is so much different. It's hard to see anything else. So very, very happy about this.
Yeah, awesome. How long has that been going on, by the way? Just since you got back?
Oh, no. Well, I flew into Minnesota just for a soul retreat. Mm-hmm. And I was here a few days, and then I just started getting stuffed up because of the heat and the climate change, I think, or something.
Sure. Well, what's so fascinating about this, and I think that I think Lillian, you were kind of alluding to this. When people have physical symptoms, what I find, I always just check to see if there's something emotional that is contributing to those symptoms. Yeah. And there almost always is. Even working with professional athletes and dancers and so on, back when I was in practice, what I found was that if they would get injured playing or dancing or whatever, there were almost always trapped emotions that were there. And oftentimes those trapped emotions were kind of setting them up for their injury. And so by removing those trapped emotions, they were able to recover better and faster and so on. But, the beauty of this is that anybody can do it. I'd like you to imagine for a moment that you're me and you're working on your mom, maybe you're your dad or your sister or your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife, and maybe they're in another state or on the other side of the planet, and they've got some issues going on you can do this, you see. I'm just here to show you how it's done and to teach you how to do it. See, it's not about me doing it. I'm just a teacher. I just work here. Okay. So
I think it's fascinating. So do you have any questions for Dr. Brad?
So will I start seeing things later on too that I should look for?
Yeah, very, very likely. Typically what happens is when we remove trapped emotions, the body has to go through often a day or two of what we call processing, where the mind body is kind of healing from what was done. And so during that period of time, you may feel like you need to sleep a little more. You might feel a little bit, maybe sometimes people feel emotionally on edge a little as they're processing, and that's normal. When you get to the other side of that, then the results can usually be fully felt. Sometimes the results are instantaneous, like today, you went from a 3 down to a 0. Is not uncommon at all for people to go from a 10 to a 0, or from a 9 or an 8 or a 7 to a 0 with whatever kind of discomfort they're having in their body. Very, very common. And so you're going to see that. I'm telling you right now, at this event, you're going to see things that are going to blow your mind, because what we're doing, like I said, this is the bleeding edge practical application of quantum physics, quantum healing. You want to learn it? You can learn it at this event. It's faster, simpler, more efficient, more effective than any other method in the world. And you can learn it all right there in Cocoa Beach, and you can go sit on the beach at lunch, right? Because the hotel's close to the beach, right? I'm hoping.
I'm wondering if I'm emotional about something here. I just started coughing. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, I wonder when people are getting sick or people aren't feeling well, or they experience a symptom, just like I all of a sudden started.
Yeah.
I wonder if is that our opportunity to go, okay, what's happening to me emotionally?
Probably. It's probably your subconscious mind going, hey, ask him to fix whatever, making you feel. Right?
Yeah. All of a sudden I'm like burst. It's like all of her emotions are like, do you find that people can pick up each other's emotions?
Well, sometimes that can happen. Yeah, but not often. More than likely what it is that your subconscious mind is just saying, hey, here's something that, you have an opportunity to maybe get worked on a little bit. So there's a symptom coming up, or it might just be coincidental. But you want me to tune into you and
Sure,
check?
Sure.
Okay, let's take a look. Let me just grab a new, here we go. Okay. Give me just 1 second. All right, Lillian, let's see.
Okay, let's find out what's going on with me.
All right. Okay, here we go. So give me just a second. I'll ask for some help from up above. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see here, Lillian. Let me ask if I can act as proxy for you. Yes, so our energies are entangled completely. So let's ask, is there an underlying reason for this? How would you describe this? Just a cough or kind of a...
No, I also too, I had mentioned to you when we first saw each other, everyone that I speak to is congested. I'm wondering if this is, it just seems like everybody's congested. I don't know if it's because of the holidays or what.
Okay.
And so I've been congested too, and very sensitive to things that could prompt an allergic reaction. Okay.
All right. So let's do this. Let's ask, how would you, if you were to rate kind of the whole situation, the kind of the congestion and the cough, 0 to 10, how would you rate it? How bad would you rate it? Like
the congestion isn't bad.
Okay.
It was that coughing fit that I all of a sudden had when you were mentioning that.
Okay.
The congestion is just there. I don't know. I can breathe just like Brenda said. I can breathe just fine, but there's a congestion, and it's making me very sensitive to any reaction, like an allergic reaction to something. I'll start coughing or whatever.
So let's ask then, first of all, let's ask, are we energetically connected? Yes. Okay, good. So let's ask, is there an underlying reason for this cough that you're suddenly having? Yes. Is it a trapped emotion? It is. Okay. So we go to the chart. Is it in column A? No. So that means it's in column B.
Okay.
And is it in one of the odd rows in column B? Yes. Is it in row 1 in column B? It is. So row 1, column B. So probably a little hard to see there, but is it effort unreceived? Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Is it effort unreceived? No. Is it heartache? Yes. So there's an emotion of heartache. Okay, a trapped emotion of heartache. And now the subconscious mind, you see what we're doing with the emotion code really is what we're doing is we're kind of closing an emotional loop. When we feel an emotion, we go through this little process of feeling the emotion and then moving on with our life. And a lot of the time that loop gets interrupted and a trapped emotion develops. And what we're going to do is we're going to close the loop. So sometimes we need to know a little more about an emotional experience. Okay. So we ask at this point, do we need to know more about this? And we do. Okay. So did this occur earlier than age 30? It did. Did it occur earlier than age 20? Yes. Did it occur earlier than age 10? No. Did it occur between age 10 to 15? No. Around age 16 or 17 or 18 or 19. This goes back to about age 19. Now, these are always accurate within about a year, give or take. So you might have chronologically been 18 or maybe 20, but right around in that time frame, there was some heartache that you went through. Does anything come to your mind, Lillian, about that?
I broke up with a guy I was dating at 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's ask, is that what this is about? Bingo.
Yeah.
So that energy has been in there all this time.
And
okay?
again, it's like who cares about it? But still, apparently my body does, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he was the
cares?
first person really that I really truly cared about.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So that hurt, right? And that heartache, that emotional energy got stuck in there. And that's probably where it is in this area. Is it in the chest? Yep. Is it dead center? No. Is it more on the right side? No, more on the left side. So it's more affecting your left lung. Yeah, left lung. All right. So do we need to know anything else about this? We don't really. Okay. And when we ask that question, what we're doing really is we're asking the subconscious mind if we need to dig a little deeper and bring more to conscious awareness before the subconscious will allow things to be released. In this case, your subconscious mind says no. So here we go. 1, 2, 3 swipes of the magnet. Okay. And what I'd like you to do now is just, maybe move your arms a little bit and just take a deep breath. And let's see how that feels compared to how it was feeling before.
Well, the coughing feels like I've calmed down. Not really. Yeah, I feel a little better. I mean, but I don't feel that tickle in my throat if that will
good.
keep me from coughing.
Yeah. So let's ask, is there another trapped emotion we can release that's kind of contributing to that issue? Not really. So sometimes, it takes a day or so for things to kind of calm down and heal completely. But remember that all we're doing, we're not promoting the emotion code as a cure for anything. It's just that emotional baggage is one of those things that gets in the way of healing. And by removing the baggage, then it can enable the body to heal itself, because the body ultimately has to heal itself from things.
Well,
right?
this is amazing. Brenda, I want to thank you for being a part of this this class and being our Vanna White to be able to show Dr. Brad's skills on you. So thank you so much for that. And before we go, I just want to remind you guys to go to whenyouneedafriend.com. This is where we take 100% responsibility, whether it's for our trauma or somebody else's trauma. As long as it's in your body, it is our responsibility. And the responsibility word that I use is not blame, shame, fault, or duty. It is empowerment and freedom. And that's what I love about this word, responsibility. And so I just want to encourage you to go to whenyouneedafriend.com. Please subscribe. That way you know who's going to be in the classroom, and all the information for the emotion code is in the at whenyouneedafriend.com. You can go to New Truth series, and you can go to either Bible studies or workshops, and you can be a part of all of this information that that is at your fingertips. This is a live event with Dr. Nelson, but in the future, who knows, we might have other multiple events with video and live. Sky's the limit with Dr. Nelson. I'm just really excited that he's coming out here. I also want you to check out my sponsors and my affiliate sponsors. Most importantly, I want to thank you guys for being a part of helping us grow the classroom, whether it's a donation, a tithe, whatever you can do, time, talent, or treasure. Today, we are talking about how to go from loss to love. And so what is your tip, Dr. Nelson, when it comes to loss? And that when you said 19 years old, broke up with somebody at 19, that was an important time back then. Doesn't mean anything now, but it's still affecting me. Now
Right.
it's cleared, or it was affecting me. Now it's cleared.
Yeah.
So how does that work? How do I know that there isn't anything else inside of me that could be causing me to be held back from the relationship of my dreams, or from, the job of my dream? How do I know there isn't more?
Well, ultimately, the only way to find that out is to ask to ask the subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind knows everything. You see, within each one of us, we have a search engine, essentially, that's the subconscious mind. It's this incredibly, vastly intelligent computer that is within each one of us, that is taking that sandwich that you had for lunch and converting it over into new cardiac muscle tissue and new blood cells and so on. I mean, it's a level of intelligence that is really so far beyond our ability to comprehend that all we know so far is what it does, but we don't know how it does it. We really don't have any idea. And I believe that it's really the science of God, the maker, the creator. And so your subconscious mind knows and remembers every face you've ever seen in a crowd, everything you've ever eaten or tasted or touched or smelled. The whole history of your health or disease is all in there, in that subconscious mind of yours. And so what we can do is we can ask questions, and we can find those. And you're going to be learning that in the seminar, how to ask questions of your own subconscious mind and use it like a search engine to track down and find and eliminate the things that are blocking you from success, from love, and from health as well.
This is amazing. I mean, what do you think? I mean, Brenda, the first time I saw you do this, and actually the first time you did this on me, it blew me away. It really did. And it inspired me to really want to get everything out, all the trash out of my body, because we don't even know what could be causing me to not heal 100%, or not get what I want, or, sabotage, or whatever it is that we do. What did you think, Brenda? Unmute yourself before you respond. What did you think? I mean, how, it's like you're not even involved. It's your subconscious that's involved here.
Yeah, but I also noticed, like, when he started working on you, I felt connected somehow. Like, I don't know, all of a sudden I started feeling like I wanted to cough, or like, I don't know. It just, and then I teared up. I said I wanted to cry a little bit. Like, I don't know. It kind of is exciting. I don't know. I want to learn more.
Yeah, well, you will. And everybody also has the opportunity on January 29th. The tickets are available through whenyouneedafriend.com. The link will be underneath this video. So when you're watching it now, or in the future, or in the premiere, whatever it is, you'll have the opportunity to just click on it, learn a little bit more, and see, how you can change your life through learning this tool. Now, Dr. Brad, when my husband taught me how to drive a stick shift, no one had ever been able to do that. And he was so patient, and he got through, and I was able to learn how to drive a stick. I am kind of concerned that I'm not going to get this muscle testing. Do you have a lot of people doubt that they will be able to do this muscle testing? Because I think that that's crucial, isn't it?
Yeah, well, getting answers from the subconscious mind is how we do this. One of the primary methods of doing that we teach is muscle testing, but we also teach you how to use pendulums and things. And there are other ways to get information from the subconscious mind. So the thing is, Lillian, I've been teaching this for so many years. I have learned the secrets of how to teach this so that people get it. And I've learned the most common mistakes that people make when they're trying to learn how to do muscle testing, whether it's on another person or on yourself. And so believe me, I'm going to be sharing those secrets that you don't hear. You're not going to hear them anywhere else. You're not going to learn them anywhere else. A lot of people think that muscle testing is difficult. I'm going to show you how it's not. It's actually really simple to get those answers from the body. And I'm going to teach you those tips that it's taken me a long time to actually figure out. So you're going to learn the insider secrets when you come.
Well, bring it. I am excited about this. I really am excited about it because I know that our body holds a wisdom beyond our comprehension. And wouldn't it be nice if we could tune into our bodies and know the answers, because God is in us. God knows exactly what we're going to be doing. And to be able to have that fellowship with God and self to create the life that we want. I mean, I just think it's going to be beautiful. January 29th, live at Cocoa Beach, Florida. Who doesn't want to come to Florida in January, February, March, anytime? Who doesn't want to come to Florida? And also, there are two kinds of passes. There's one that's the general admission, but there's the other one that's the general admission and the VIP. And the VIP is going to be a wonderful dinner with Dr. Bradley Nelson. We're going to have a wonderful meal. It's going to be an intimate gathering. So if you haven't gotten your tickets for the VIP, I suggest you do. It's just going to be a phenomenal time. I know Brenda's going to be there. I know I will be there, and hopefully all of you will be there as well. Dr. Brad, is there anything you want to say before we go to someone that maybe just tuned in now about the emotion code?
Well, this is an opportunity. One of the rare events. This is the same event that I've done all over the world, and this is one of those times when you can come and attend and spend one day and learn something that you'll be able to use for the rest of your life. And you'll be able to bless not only your own life, but also the lives of everyone around you and all those people that you really care about. You're going to be able to do that. And you'll be able to work with your animals and friends and loved ones, even at a distance. And you're going to find out really how truly incredibly powerful and effective this method is. It's coming into the world at a time when we really desperately need it. There are people around you that need healing. And I want you to listen to me right now. There are no coincidences, and you're watching this for a reason. So whatever is in your life that's in your way of coming to this event, you need to rearrange your schedule or do whatever it is you need to do to come to this event, because there are people in your life that need your help. You can help them. And there's nothing better than being the catalyst for someone else's healing, to be an instrument in the hands of God and that higher power, to be able to bless the lives of other people. There's nothing better in the whole world. All of a sudden, peace can enter your life. And all of a sudden you start sleeping really well at night, and you don't care what else is going on in the world, because you know that what you're doing is making a difference, and that higher power is pleased with you. And that's such a beautiful place to be. So
Amen.
I'm really looking forward to seeing you.
I know. It's right around the corner. Really excited. We still have tickets available. I believe we still have VIP tickets available. So take advantage of this opportunity. This is the first East Coast event that you have, right, Dr. Brad?
Yeah, it's the first
in a
one.
While.
Yeah, it's the first one in a while. It really is. And of course, we haven't really done many live events since COVID happened. And we were supposed to be doing this same exact seminar in New Delhi in India that year, in 2020, when I guess that's when
Yes.
COVID hit. That didn't happen. And then this last year, nothing really much happened either. Except we did, online events, but there's nothing like coming to a live event. I mean, it's just, it's an electric kind of an atmosphere. You're going to be seeing amazing, miraculous things happen. You're going to learn how to do this.
Yes.
You'll be doing this, hands-on practice on other people that are there. So don't miss this. Whatever you need to do to get your schedule rearranged, just do it. Get out here, get out of the snow, wherever you're coming from.
That's right.
Come out to Cocoa Beach. It's going to be fun.
That's right. And you will be on the beach. But you can pick whatever hotel you want, but the hotel that we're going to be doing this is on the beach. It's just like 100 blocks away, not 100 blocks, yards away from the beach. So you'll be able to get sandy toes while you work on your inner soul. So I am so grateful. Once again, January 29th, 2022. And it's going to be Saturday from, I think, 8:30 in the morning till 5. And then the VIP, or 5:30. And then the VIP dinner is going to be from, I think, 6 to who knows what time. And we'll get to have a meet and greet with Dr. Brad. And so thank you so much, Dr. Brad, for doing this and sharing your information that is life-changing for many, especially when they don't have to deal with all the baggage, emotional baggage. They can just go straight to the facts where the emotion resides and be able to heal it at that place. So thank you again for everything that you do.
Well, thank you, Lillian, for giving me the opportunity to be on. And Brenda, thank you for being our guinea pig today. Both of you, I guess, really.
You know what? I want to give you a side little note. When we first started, I had a pain on my left shoulder, gone. So that's the benefit. You never know what else is being affected in your body. So thank you so much.
That's right.
Thank you, Brenda, for saying yes to meeting with Dr. Brad today. And all of you, please remember, take your life back. There's so many different ways in the classroom that you can stop giving away your power and take your life back. And please remember, we'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyounneedafriend.com. This is Lillian McDermott and Dr. Bradley Nelson and Brenda wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever.
The opinions and advice expressed on the Lillian McDermott radio show are intended for the individual callers and guests on the program and are presented to our wider audience solely for general educational purposes. Please act responsibly and consult personally with your own medical, psychological, or nutritional expert before taking any steps to improve your life.